Welcome, friends, to day 28 of the 30-day guitar challenge. I'm so glad that you guys are with me today. We're almost to the end of this. Can you believe it? I can't even believe it. When we started this, I was like, well, this will be fun. And then we got about a week in, and I was like, we're really doing 30 days, aren't we? And then the rest of it just flew by. It's like once I got that first week out of the way, I was like, we flew through this, right? That's kind of the whole point, is that we could actually, someone's saying, no, we didn't. I feel like we flew through it, but nonetheless, I'm so happy that you're here, friends. We're on day 28. It's today, it's tomorrow, it's the following day, and then we'll see what happens after that. But this is the 30-day guitar challenge. If you guys haven't been to these before, we have a blast here. I'm with you for 2 hours. The first hour is a beginner lesson, second hour is an advanced lesson. Takes 21 to 30 days to develop a habit. That's why we're doing this. I'm walking you through the Unstoppable Guitar System Standard for the first hour, right? And we're going right through our syllabus here. If you want this syllabus, it's link 1 underneath this video. Link 1, link 1, link 1 underneath this video. You'll have to click it, and then you can get this PDF. Link 2 comes after 1. Link 2 is access to the Unstoppable Guitar System Standard or Pro, whatever you prefer. Standard, you get absolutely for free. It's 30-something of my most popular videos ever in the history of ever. Not only that, they're the ones that are going to help you out the most. I know, right? Why is he saying that? He's going to keep people from going pro. Hey, if you want to go pro, go pro. That's what I'm saying. But these are the most influential, the most beneficial, the most foundational, solid rock. I can't even express this enough. And if you are watching me and listening to me right now and you have not taken advantage of UGS Standard, dear Lord, my friend, what am I going to do? The link's in the description of my video, as per the excuses video that we put up the other day, right? Okay, so that's what I'm doing. And then for the second part of the hour, I'm going to be talking about, for the first part of the hour, I didn't mention this, using the thumb for muting and playing. I actually did this just now on this. In fact, we'll talk about that, okay? Yeah, use the thumb for muting and playing on this one, okay? So we'll talk about that in just a minute. Also, for the second part of the hour, we're going to talk about, what are we talking about? Fret hand muting. So I know you guys are having issues. Some folks, they're trying not to mute the chords, and then the more advanced players, they're trying to mute the chords. They're trying to mute notes within the chords. We're going to talk about that. So this could be for chords or lead guitar. So we're going to do that, okay? Now, before we begin, a few orders of business. As I said, first link below, get it. It's the PDF. It's going to help you with all this. You could be just joining us today for the first time and still go through this 30-day guitar challenge, because I'm giving you the course, okay? You can get it today, but I'm giving it to you. So you do this 30-day challenge whenever you want, okay? Yes, true. And the second link give you access to the Unstoppable Guitar System. Okay, all right, my friends, I'm so jacked. I'm so excited. I'm coming off my fast right now, so I'm really like, woo, feeling bonkers right now. So, and by the way, some beautiful folks donating right now. This is super kind. Oh, I forgot to mention to you, if you would like this video, it's that little thumb thing there, right? Hit that and go on, get it out, get it up there. And if you've done it already, don't do it again. But if you've done YouTube, come on. Is this what we're doing, YouTube? We're doing that for real. We're dropping. Come on. All right, you know what to do. Friends, you stuck with me last time, even though we had some YouTube issues. Come on, YouTube. Come on, collective consciousness, do it with me. YouTube, behave. Behave, YouTube. Right, so you're like, Eric, I really want to help you. Awesome, please share this video right now. And of course, if you haven't already, hit subscribe and the notification bell. And I really, honestly, I'll say it, and I'll say it again, I really do appreciate you guys sticking with me, even though YouTube did what it did. It's not going to do it anymore. Well, it did what it did, all right? Let's move forward. I have some folks who have donated here, and I've got to recognize them because, folks, this is what keeps the lights on when I got the studio sitting there and I'm paying hella rent on it, and You know, I don't have to tell you guys are doing the same thing. You guys are running through issues too. But nonetheless, it keeps the lights on. So for those that have donated, thank you so much. I'm going to name them right now. Here we go. Darren, for real? Is this what we're doing? Is this what we're doing, YouTube? Come on. Don't be doing that to me. All right, so Darren Guyton, thanks for opening up UGS for Vets. I feel like I'm ripping you off on your excellent product. Thank you, Darren. No, it's not ripping me off. Thank you for your service. It's just a way to say thank you, right? That's all it is. I'm saying thank you. Promise you, it's not my internet connection. I reset my router and I did a speed test, and I'm getting hella speed up. So it's not my YouTube. It's not my bandwidth. Anyhow, I apologize. Nothing I can do about it. We just have to keep on resetting if that's what it's going to do. If you are a veteran or you are a current military member, go to YourGuitarSage.com/veterans. Let's keep moving. I want to thank these folks. Michael Garan, thank you so much. Super kind. Rodney, thank you for giving us a treat to look forward to each day. Thank you, Rodney. So kind. Rob Y, a huge shout out and thank you to Eric, Emmy, Jason, and Mike for this incredible 30-day challenge. We appreciate it much more than words can say. Thank you, Rob. I so appreciate that. And then we had a couple other ones coming through here. A couple other beautiful donations here. From Ono, thank you, Ono. So kind, buddy. And from, two from Ono. Jeez, thank you, Ono. And another one from Roland. Thank you so much. Let's get into the lesson, my friends. While we got internet, let's do it real quick. So the first bit here is using the thumb for muting and playing, okay? So this thing that I was doing just now for you, right? Charlie, thank you so much for the donation, friend. Another veteran. Beautiful, thank you. I'm going to show you what I'm doing here. I'm using the thumb all over the place for playing and okay, so let's talk about it, all right? First off, we're going to talk about we're going to do it all in general today, so I'm not splitting it up. That's fine, because it's all very related, very, very relatable, especially for this lick that I chose to do today. This is just a tune that I wrote called The Rose. Wrote this a long time ago, but nonetheless, I'm going to show you some things that I'm doing and that you're probably going to find handy. If you've ever seen folks strumming the guitar and they're hitting all the strings, you know they're not just hitting 4 strings or 5 or you know, but yet the chord is 4 or 5 notes, and you're wondering how in the heck are they doing that? Jimmy, my gosh, thank you. Thanks, brother. Keep the lights on and feed the staff. Your vets love you. Thank you so much, Jimmy. My gosh, the vets have been so kind to me during this. I mean, so kind, so kind. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Don't feel obligated. It's a gift, my gift to you. You don't feel obligated. You're not taking advantage of me. You've done such a service, and that's all. I'm just saying thank you back. So that's it. But Jimmy, thank you, thank you. John, thank you for the donation. So kind. We have to learn how to use our fingers to mute. The thumb gets a lot of action. I'm going to show you this, how we can use it a lot for playing chords and muting, but then other fingers as well. So we're going to mix the two today, okay? And if I need to reiterate, then I'll reiterate. No big deal, okay? But now people say, people at first, they try to not mute notes, right? Which I talk about inside of UGS Standard, the one you get for free today, second link below. I talk about all of this. And it's very important to first not mute notes, because it's very natural to put your hand on the guitar and mute a bunch of notes. That's very natural. So we've got to go the other way and not mute notes. And then once we get used to this, then we can start muting notes purposely as it serves us. Make sense? So for instance, if I'm playing a D minor 7 chord, which is what this is right here, okay? Well, what I'm doing is I'm using the tip of my first finger here. Dave, thank you so much for the donation, friend. Wow, you guys are slaying it today with the donations. Steven, thank you so much. Steven's always donating. Golly, guys. Wow, 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 wow. Thank you. So right here, it's really important for me to be able to mute this note here. And in fact, some folks go, well, that's really difficult. How do you do that? Don't think about it any differently than you would be playing a note. You know, when you play a chord and you have to have all the fingers in the right place in order, or in the right places in order for you to play that chord correctly, you muting a note with your fingers is the same thing, okay? It's just yet another thing that you'll need to learn how to do. Nobody gets it at first. It's a challenge, just like everything on the guitar. The guitar is not natural, folks. It's not like walking or talking, which still takes time, okay? It still takes time to do that. But we do have to learn how to mute because it helps a ton, okay? Now, we can do this with our thumb. We can do it with any fingers. When I'm soloing here, when I'm not hitting wrong notes, then I'm muting lots of notes, okay? So we can do this with the left and the right hand, and we'll talk about both of those today, okay? All right, so here we go. Let me show you this one example here. Let me show you with the open chords first, I should say. If we were to play 5th string root chords, meaning the root of the chord is on the 5th string, then we usually don't want the 6th string ringing out. For instance, if I play an A minor, technically I could play an E in the bass, but usually we don't do that, okay? Just gonna ignore it from now on. We're just gonna keep, yeah, sure. So, what you're gonna do, gotta keep hitting that refresh. Yeah. All right, here we go. So we're bringing that thumb over the top of the neck to mute that 6th string. We could do it with the 5th string as well, okay? So for instance, like if I was playing a D chord, we were playing a D chord, then if I bring that thumb over the top of the neck, I could mute the 6th and the 5th string, as opposed to getting this sound. In fact, I'm gonna take that reverb off. Here's a D chord where I'm muting the 6 and the 5. If I'm muting just the 6, it might sound like this. And if I'm not muting any of them, it's gonna sound like this. So not the sound that we're going for. So we wanna get accustomed to using our fingers here. In the case of this D minor 7 chord, what I'm doing is I'm taking my first finger, bumping it up against the against the 6th string there. See what I'm doing? Boom. And I'm considering that as part of the chord, like it's part of the fingering. So when I'm laying this chord down, I want to feel that 6th string touch. Fun, right? Boy, oh boy. All right. Whew, boy, oh boy, oh boy. Now I'm getting a little frustrated. Laugh or cry, right? Let me show you something else I'm doing here. For this part, in UGS, I talk about playing octaves like this, because you have one on the 6th string and you got one on the 1st string, and you can do all sorts of fun stuff like, right? So playing octaves, and what I did here is I'm playing my chord and I'm playing an A sharp there and an A sharp here, right? Then I have this section here where I play an A sharp major 7. What I'm trying to do here is just show you that you can play chords with your thumb. I know it's a little bit difficult, but you can do it. And this is an example, an A major 7 right here. So I'm bringing my thumb over the top of the neck. I'm not actually fretting. What I'm doing is I'm taking this little crease in my thumb right there, and I'm getting that to just pull the string back a little bit. I wouldn't be able to play this chord that way if I wasn't using my thumb, because I wouldn't be able to play this note. Wouldn't be able to play that note at the top, because I'd have to replace that here. So it would sound different. It would be like this. So I couldn't give that chord a variation like this. See how nice that is? I'm adding some melody to it. And the only way I can do that is by using my thumb. And then I got this chord. Doing the same thing there, playing inside and then outside, inside, outside, inside, outside. Dear Lord Jesus in heaven, please help my internet connection. All right? Now, when I played this C add 9 chord here, what I did is I brought my second finger and bumped it up against this 6th string here, okay? I could also bring my thumb over the top of the neck and mute that. But the whole point here, what I want to do is let you guys know that there are lots of things that you can do with your thumb and your other fingers to mute notes. Yes, of course it's awkward at first. Of course it feels foreign. Yes, it did to me too. But it will actually become part of your chord. You won't even have to think about it once you practice it enough, just like anything else, just like speaking or walking or getting on the internet and doing a live connection and not having it fail at all. It's just like a walk in the... So frustrating. Oh boy. I get kind of mad. Okay, let's get to some questions here, all right? I want to keep apologizing, but whatever. You guys are troopers. You're sticking in there. But I don't blame you if you're like, this is crazy. This is nuts. And I don't know what to tell you. I've reset my router. I reset all my devices. I do it all the time. Yeah. Okay. Let's get to some questions, okay? Yes, okay, number one, okay, we had another donation here, beautiful, or I thought we did, no, okay. All right, breathe, Eric, I know. Questions, all right, why does my YouTube stink today? I think it's just... All right, we're connected again, right? I can't tell. Jesus. All right, now I'm really getting frustrated, friends. Do we want to call it? I mean, folks are dropping off. I hate to call it, but this is nuts. This is absolutely nuts. I can't even get a message out to you guys. Okay. You don't want to look at me and just... What would Joe Dispenza say? He would say, breathe. And let it pass. He'd probably say, jump off the call and go meditate, is what he'd say. Could I record this and post later? I could, but then it's just another video. It's like I'm not interactive with you guys, right? Call it and then do the month of May. I tell you what, I don't even want to put it into the universe, but I'll be here I'll be here for you guys. How about that? I'll just say that. I'll be here for you guys. Okay? Okay, we're here. Okay, you guys are sticking. Okay. All right, then give me your questions. Let's just act like we're going forward, and when it drops out, I'm going to go ahead and keep going. Okay. All right, let's get to some questions. Truck driver, right? Yeah. Okay, here we go. Eric, blues guitar question. Using the dominant seventh chords in my playing and soloing, but can I also use the major and minor chords from my song progressions? Can I mix them in progressions? Daryl, yes, you can do that. Now, the 12-bar blues progression is a very strong blues chord progression, but listen to B.B. King, right? Listen to The Thrill Is Gone. That's all in a minor key, and there's a lot of other chords thrown in there as well. So you definitely can do that. If it sounds good, then you're good. Yes, the answer is yes. It's a great example of the amount of patience that this man has. If he can maintain during this lag, imagine the amount of patience he has for us learning from him. Thank you so much, MSG. Can you give tips for muting 5 and 6 while still trying to play a chord? Yeah, Thomas, so that's a little bit more difficult than just muting the 6th string. But if it, for instance, is a D chord, right? Then it's very easy to mute that 6th string for the most part. So you're going to have to reach around a little bit more and feel that string. You know, if you just use your hands and just feel, you can feel what the 2nd string or the 6 and 5, what 2 strings feels like. You can feel that. You know what that's like. So in that case, you don't have to even look. Just feel, mute that right now, and that's how you're doing it. But the difference is this. I have to typically get my knuckle over to get that 2nd. I definitely have to. This is just not even, right? This is just the little fatty part of my thumb there. Does the diatonic scale incorporate the modes and the major scale? If only one in them, I sometimes hear them interchanged. Yes, I've got lessons for that, but basically all the modes come from the major scale, indeed. 1 is Ionian, 2 is Dorian, 3 is Phrygian, 4 is Lydian, 5 is Mixolydian, 6 is Aeolian, 7 is Locrian. Yes. Good, yeah, I love it, Gerald. That's a great attitude. Fergus is saying, could you please do an AC/DC guitar riff video? I have one, friend. Search YourGuitarSage AC/DC or any band that you love. YourGuitarSage Elvis, you're going to find it, you know? Let's talk about palm muting. So palm muting is not as difficult as you think. It's something that you have to get used to. I say it all the time. I can tell you how chocolate tastes, or you can taste chocolate. You know what palm muting is? It's when you use your palm right here on this part of the guitar, right? And you're muting like this. Now, the further you are up on the string, then the more muted it's going to be. The further back you are, the less it's going to be muted. So for instance, I'm going further back on the bridge here, and if I go further in, it's going to be more muted. So we do this when we're playing chords, right? Gives that great fun rock and roll sound. But to get that quan, to be just in the right place where it sounds great, you need to experiment with this. Okay? It's not that difficult, but I do have, more extended videos on that. Search YourGuitarSage Palm Mute. There's no video that's just going to go, boom, you're going to watch and then be like, oh, wow, I'm palm muting great now. It's going to be more like, oh, I get the idea. Now you have to practice it. It's just going to feel awkward at first, just like anything new on the guitar. It's going to feel awkward at first, and then you're going to move on from there, okay? All right, good. Will the 30-day guitar challenge videos be taken down after the 30 days? No, they're going to stay up, my friend, indeed. Eric, how much difference is the action on your acoustic at fret 1 versus 12? Just approximately. On my acoustic, just approximately. So I wouldn't even, let me see. I'm going to take this, which is like a point, I mean, literally the thickness of this pick, I'd say it's somewhere in the neighborhood of under 1 millimeter. So this is 0.88, and if I put this under, it's almost touching. I'll take another pick and stick it under here. Now this is a pretty thick pick, and when I stick it under there, my string actually comes up a little bit. But this is a really thick dragon's heart pick, and that definitely pushes the string up. So we know that it's lower than that. Okay. Do you set the controls on your amp differently between playing in a small club versus playing at home? Typically, the only thing you're going to do differently, Al, is change the volume. But the tones and stuff like that typically will not change. It could change. There are some rooms that will resonate more bass heavy, and there's other rooms that'll be brighter sounding and that sort of thing. And in that case, yeah, you might do that. You might adjust it, but usually it's only volume. Roy, good question. Any tips for chording with ultra-fat fingers? Rick, thank you so much for the donation, my friend. Really kind. And you guys sticking in here, I don't expect it. You guys are troopers. You're warriors. Just the fact that you stay here is beautiful. And thank you, thank you. I know where you're going to go. But no, you could be doing other things, and I truly appreciate it. But don't feel obligated. You're not going to hurt my feelings. Thank you. That's all. Thank you. Any tips for chording with ultra-fat fingers? Roy, there is no difference in regards to how you're going to fret. The technique is going to be the same. Also, I highly suggest you watch my video about the excuses, because we talk about that. We talk about the hands. We talk about all sorts of reasons why someone thinks that they may not be able to play. It honestly is all about learning the technique. In fact, watch this. Are you ready? Watch this. If you do not have fat fingers, you don't have fat fingers, you got skinny ass fingers, and you had problems with muting chords and chording, please, this is what I want you to say, I want you to say me. Just say me. That's me, okay? Me. So Roy knows that he's not alone, and that has nothing to do with the fingers. I know you think that. But I can promise you there's some amazing players with some big fat fingers, and they play great. It's all about understanding how to use those fat fingers or those skinny fingers or anything else. I can promise you. Look at all the me's popping up here, okay? I'm not lying to you. This is just the truth. I've seen it with many, many players. Okay, great. Thank you so much for your testimony, right? They overcame the beast with the words of their testimony. Ah! That's right. Okay, beautiful. Esther, you're amazing. Thank you. Any tips for playing the thumb over the chords like Hendrix when I have an average length finger? I do too. It has nothing to do with your hand size. I got medium sized hand, okay? You know what they say about men with medium sized hands? Medium sized gloves. So, here we go. But you're saying, how do you do that? Well, it really is a matter of getting to try it and getting that quan, getting to fit in just right to where you're like, okay, now we're talking. It has nothing to do, I mean, like I said, medium-sized hand. I don't have some giant basketball hand. I don't. But I promise you, it's the technique, okay? How's the fast going? It ended about 3 hours ago. This morning at about 7 or 8 o'clock, before I went in for some chocolate chip pancakes, I said, I probably ought to not just jump out of a fast into chocolate chip pancakes. You probably should have an apple, or something like that. So man, that was the best tasting apple this morning. I did about a 40-hour or so, which it was perfect timing because I was so busy yesterday. I met with you guys, we met with 700 folks yesterday, and then I did 2 other live broadcasts that were just for UGS folks. It was like 120 per, and then I had a meeting with Jason, and I had a meeting with Mike, and then I had a meeting with another buddy who's actually helping me out with structuring everything that we're doing here since we're growing so quickly and what have you. So very, very busy yesterday. I did not literally have an opportunity to eat yesterday. Stafford, how's it going with, I tell you how it's going with the push-ups. Mike, right, who's in the crew, emailed me last night, said he was up to 68. So he like rocketed past me very, very quickly, and I'm really jealous, and I feel bad because I thought there's no way Mike's going to catch up with me because that I forgot where he started, but Mike, it was like not a lot, was it, right? So anyhow, Mike surpassed me, so good job, Mike, and boo on me. I need to be working harder for it. Have you heard of the Boss Acoustic Singer Amp? I haven't. I have no rhythm. Ask my wife, what's the best way to learn? John, rhythm is developed. Learning anything by ear is developed. Singing, developed. Playing guitar, developed. Accountant, developed. Lawyer, developed. Everything is developed, and I will see people argue with me on the internet about this, and I say all the time, I say, you show me that 2-year-old who plays guitar who was born with this talent. Show him to me. Well, that's not fair. They need to grow up and they need to practice. Yeah, you got it, practice. There's no 2-year-olds playing guitar. There's no 2-year-olds who are lawyers and doctors and such, okay? It's not. All right? Andre is saying 700. I like your positive attitude. I love it. Every time I use the bathroom while working from home, I come out and I do 10 push-ups, 10 squats. That way I don't forget. Boom! That's a wicked cool habit, Rob. That's a wicked good habit. So smart. Yeah, that's really driving home those habits, man. Look, man, friends, you have habits. Good habits, bad habits, they're ingrained in you. You do them all the time. You don't even know that you do them, right? They're habits, whatever they are. I brush my teeth with my left hand now. I'm a right-handed person, but I brush with my left hand every time, and I was brushing my teeth today with my left hand. I'm like, wow, buddy, you set up a habit now. This is not your dominant hand, but you do it every single time. Clean the cat box, left hand. Obviously, I clean my hands in between then and all that stuff. But you develop a habit. So whatever you practice, you have to do it with your conscious brain. Then you do it enough, it goes into your subconscious. Okay. You crack me up. You're extra funny today. Thank you, M. Burner. Well, when I get frustrated, I get a little frisky. Thank you so much, Dave. In UGS, you can send a message to Eric, and he answers very soon. Dave, yes, I check messages several times a day for that. Indeed. Stafford, yes, definitely personally answer those questions inside of UGS. Do you have to reset up a Strat after you block it? Yeah, typically, because, and so what we're talking about there is, if you were to pull this plate off, right, you're not going to break anything, but if you pull the plate off, you'll see what's happening inside here, and you have springs that counter the pull, or springs that counter the pull of the strings. The strings are pulling this way, right, because we tighten them up and they're being held onto here, so it's pulling this tremolo system forward. And the reason we can do that is we have springs in the back that are pulling it the other way, so it's a counter pulley or mechanism or something, right? But when you block it, what you're doing is you're making it to where if I pull up on this bar, it doesn't change the pitch of it. Okay, that's how a lot of people have their Strats set up. If they break a string, no problem. If they don't break a string, no problem. But if you have it floating, like I do on some of my guitars, if you break a string, it puts the whole guitar out of tune. So someone might say, well, why would you want it floating? Is because you can get some different effects out of it. It has a different feel, that sort of thing. The vibrato is usually smoother like that. Okay. Okay, beautiful. Eric, what type of guitar should I buy? Sunil, you should be in UGS Standard. It's the second link below. Watch those 2 videos where I talk to you about how to purchase a guitar, because everybody is different. There's not one particular guitar that's like, everybody go get this guitar. There are better deals. You'll see those on my gear page. There's a link below if you really want to check out the specific guitars that I would suggest for you that are lower priced, right? If you want to buy a higher priced, high-end, custom-made guitar, you can buy the one that I'm having made here that should be done any week now. Hopefully this whole deal hasn't slowed that down. I haven't called my buddy in a while here, so I need to find out. Mike just posted that link right there in the chat. So beautiful. Thank you so much, Mike. Yes, watch the first few videos inside of UGS Standard. It's the free course that I'm giving you today, the second link below. Go through that and I tell you exactly how to understand how to purchase a guitar without having to know a ton about it, okay? RDB, thank you again from a veteran. I have held and practiced my guitar more in the last few weeks of your program than in the last 5 years. I'm becoming a player rather than just a collector. I love that, RDB. Beautiful, love it. That makes me feel good. That gives me rocket fuel to keep going right in this area of my chest. Thank you, buddy. Bridget Booth, thank you for the donation, so kind. Yes, these videos will stay up, indeed. I've been playing, okay, but here's the deal. If you want an electric guitar, a great one. By the way, we just got up to 500. Beautiful. Even with everything, you guys are such rock stars, so dedicated. Thank you, thank you. A great electric guitar is an HSS Strat. So it has a humbucker, single. Somebody last night on YouTube was like, why don't you have an why isn't that an HSS? And I'm like, because it's a 65, that's why. I'm not gonna drop a humbucker into a 1965 Strat, you weasel, okay? So, oh, thank you so much, Bridget, you're so kind. Thank you. I've been playing guitar for around 6 months now. I know all of my chords and have a handful of good strumming patterns down, but feel like progress is at a standstill. Where do I go from here? Turbo, I'd ask you, you're not playing songs, are you? This is what happens a lot of times, folks, is they get exercises, they get chords, they get scales, and they're like, look, I'm playing guitar. Well, you wouldn't be lying. You're playing it. You're getting close. But without a song, right? If you just got on stage and was like, this is what I know. I know the C chord. Ba 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 ba. I can strum these 2 strum patterns, and you're just like wailing away on that C chord. It's going to get old. There needs to be a little bit of diversity, right? So you want to play songs. You've got to play songs. Songs. It's all about songs. That's why I have like 1,300 videos on YouTube to help you with songs. Search Your Guitar Sage Elvis, Your Guitar Sage Clash, Your Guitar Sage Pink Floyd, whatever the band is that you like. Search Your Guitar Sage in that band, and I promise you, you're going to find what you're looking for, okay? Learn a bunch of songs. That's what's probably frustrating you. You got nothing to show for it. You're like, I got the C chord and these strumming patterns, but I don't have any chords. Okay? Is it hard to adjust the action yourself? Albert, good question. It's not hard to, but to get it right, you're taking the strings off, then you're adjusting the action, right? Then you're putting the strings on, and if it's not right, then you're taking the strings off again, you're adjusting the action, etc., etc. Now, there are ways to go about that to where you don't have to do that, but you have to watch some luthier videos, L-U-T-H-I-E-R, guitar luthier videos that will actually show you what to do when those strings are off. Because if you don't do that, then there's lots of taking the strings off, putting the strings on, taking the strings off, putting the strings on. Is it right yet? No, it's not. Oh man, it's even worse now. So it's not a nightmare, but you do need to know what you're doing. I personally have been playing for 35 years over now, and I don't do any of that myself because there are guys that just do this all the time. Why not leave it to them, right? You give your taxes to someone else usually, right? So why would you do your own taxes? You might love it. I hate doing taxes, so I don't do it. There's always a guy who's better than me at this stuff, so why not, right? Okay, good. Great questions. Is it better to master the 30 free lessons before enrolling in the full UGS Pro? Dan, you can do either. If you're going to join UGS Pro, you can just join UGS Pro and you can still be in those first 30 lessons. So let's rephrase that question. If you're in UGS Pro, which you should be, Is it better to go through the first 30 lessons? Always. Even if you are Yngwie Malmsteen or Eric Clapton, you should first go through those first 30 lessons, because even though someone may be a professional guitar player, what have you, there are chances are there's things that they've left behind. Okay? Does that make sense? I was going to go into something. I'm not going to. But start with a 30 indeed. Don't leave any stone unturned. In fact, the closer you are to the beginning of the program, you want to for sure not miss those. And inside the program, you can always hit double speed, right? You can always hit double speed if you want. And then this way, bingo, bango, Django, you can just jump right in there, okay? Hold on 2 seconds. Chupi wants in. She wants to say hi to you guys. She's been super lovable today. And come on in, Choops. Come on in and say hi. All right, come here, come here. Jump up here. Everybody wants to say hi to you. Come on. Super easy when you don't have any money to do your own taxes. My knees hurt. That's fun. What percentage of my practice should be exercises and what should be songs? Hi, Choopy. Hi. Say hi to everybody. Oh, it's a good cat. Ouch. What percentage of my practice? Don't think about percentage. It's always songs. But if you're like, okay, well, this song has finger picking and I don't know how to finger pick, then what you do is you go and you watch my videos on how to finger pick, and then you take that and you apply it to songs. Does that make sense? Or if you're like, okay, well, this, I need to learn how to do some soloing or improvisation. Well, I don't know how to do that. Then you're going to watch my, minimalistic blues videos, or you're going to watch the call and response videos, right? Or you're going to watch the pentatonic videos, and you're going to be like, okay, awesome. Now I know how to do this. Now I need to go practice. But always return to songs. It's all about songs. No guitar player has made or musician for that matter, has made a living playing scales, or, as a musician, as somebody who you would go see, an artist, I should say. And everybody here is an artist. Whether you know that or not, you're an artist. You have creative bits in you. Maybe they need to be cultured, and they probably do. Everybody's does. But nonetheless, you're an artist, so you have this within you, okay? Know that. So, songs, always songs. Oh, Turbo, thank you. Thank you for all you do. Seriously, man, you are the best guitar teacher out there. You go above and beyond and make everything so enjoyable. Thank you. Wow, Turbo, thanks. That goes straight to my heart, man. And that means a lot to me. Rocket fuel for my day. Thank you, buddy. Thank you, Dan. So kind. This is the Choopster. Indeed, Choopy. Okay, sticks. So somebody's wanting sticks. All right. Oh, beautiful. Been playing for 2 years and still benefited from your 30 lessons. Thank you so much for saying that, Larry. Some folks don't believe that. I've had folks that have been playing longer than me. I've had folks that have been playing for 40-something years. They get into the first 30 lessons and they're like, how did I not know this? Everything just came together. Why didn't my guitar teacher tell me this? Dude, we're up to 540 people, even with the problems that we had. Thank you so much, friends. Chupalina, that's right. Chupalina, Choopmeister. Chupacabra. It is, it's short for Chupacabra, because when we got her, she was all like biting stuff and stuff in a cute way, right? So we called her Choopy. And she just has an attitude. She just is Queen Sheba around here. All right. I've been correcting all kinds of bad habits since I've been taking your lessons, or UGS lessons. Beautiful. Love it. Thank you. Love it. That feels so good. Minimalistic blues alone is worth the price of admission. Friends, thank you for, who said this? Stivosaurus. Thank you so much. Friends, a lot of folks are out there playing their scales, and they're like, I don't know how to make it not sound like scales. They always sound like scales. For the same reason that a child, you don't just hand him a dictionary and say, get to speaking, boy. He mimics everything that we say, right? Our children, they mimic what we say. We mimicked what our parents said, et cetera, et cetera. So without even knowing how to spell the words or anything else, we just know that if you say, I got a poo-poo, we don't even know how to spell that there are words, anything. We're just like, I got a poo-poo. Whatever, it could be a lick. That's all it is. That's all we know. There's sounds that are coming out of that person's mouth. And if you say, I got a poo-poo, mommy, daddy, put you on the potty real quick, okay? In the same way, you don't have to know the names of the notes. You don't have to know the letter names in the notes, any of that. You can later. It will definitely be helpful. But what I'm saying to you is you got to just learn how to phrase. Minimalistic blues, which I give you that video. I think I have at least one of those videos, but maybe several of them on YouTube. Search Your Guitar Sage Minimalistic Blues. Or if one of my crew would drop that into the chat area there, it'd be awesome. Okay, so you got that. If you're in UGS already, you will know that I have a whole course on the minimalistic blues, and I walk you through it, and it makes it so much easier, okay? And basically what I'm doing is I'm teaching you how to phrase, how to say, Mommy, I got a poo-poo. Mommy, I got a boo-boo. Daddy, hug me. I'm teaching you basic phrases, and once you do that, do I like Warren DeMartini? Yeah, Warren DeMartini is a beast. One of my favorite guitar players ever, actually. Yeah. So indeed, once you understand how to phrase, look, you didn't know how to phrase words. Thank you, Mike. You did not know how to phrase words when you were a child. Neither did you, and neither did you, and girl over here and Mr. over here. You guys didn't. I didn't. Okay? But then we learned a phrase. We learned a word. Mommy, daddy, love, hug, whatever. We learned these things. And then that went into something else, and it went into a slightly bigger phrase, and then a slightly bigger phrase, and then a slightly bigger phrase. And now we can get up. I don't have to plan these broadcasts other than saying, hey, this is what we're going to talk about today. And then it's stream of consciousness. That's how we communicate. And when you see Stevie Ray Vaughan, boop, 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 just doing his thing, or any of your favorite guitar players just doing their thing, and you're like, oh, they're so magical. That's like a little kid looking at you talking and going, they're so magical. Or a toddler looking at you walking and saying, they're so magical. How do they do that? Oh my God, that's impossible. It's not. They know it's not because you're showing them that it's possible. Stevie Ray Vaughan is showing you that the only difference between you and Stevie Ray Vaughan is you just got to practice more. That's it. And have some proper lessons. That's it. And I give that to you, right? So, do bears poo-poo in the woods? You know they do, Paul. Thank you for the donation, buddy. So kind, man. Stephen, calling me out like that. Stephen, I'm calling you up like that is what I'm doing, because you're a rock star. You just don't know it yet, and I'm going to pound it into your head till you and everybody else knows that you literally have untapped, unlimited potential. And the more that you lean into whatever it is you're trying to do, the better you're going to get. Whether that's Mike doing 68 push-ups, me doing 50 push-ups and needing to do more, or me playing guitar for 5 hours, I'm going to be better off playing for 5 hours than I am for 5 minutes. Better than 4 hours. Make sense? Girl, you know it's true. Okay. Oh, yeah. Ah, that's funny, Gary. That is funny. Okay. Good. So kind. Thank you. Do you recommend the HS Strat? It's HSS, by the way. Wow, Steve, thanks for the donation. Thank you for helping all of us improve. Rock on. Bud, so unbelievably kind, Steve. Thank you for the donation. That is unbelievable. Thank you. It's not unbelievable. You guys are, but it's so generous. I should say it's generous. It's not unbelievable because you guys do this often. You donate. It's so kind. Thank you so much. Do you recommend an HSS Strat, right? HSS versus the normal Strat. Was avoiding it because I didn't have the humbucker, getting my first selector. Greg, go with what you want, buddy, because you have your own set of tastes, right? The reason that this is not a humbucker, this is an HSS, is because this is original 65, and when you have an original vintage guitar, you don't touch it. If I wanted to put, holy mackerel, someone just came in with $99.99 here as a donation. Wow, CPK. Need a suggestion for a 15 to 20 watt amp for a beginner intermediate player with a Stratocaster. CPK, thank you so much, number one. And let's talk about it. A 15 to 20 watt amp for a beginner intermediate player with a Stratocaster. Okay, it depends on how much money you have, CPK, but my number one suggestion to you, now again, this is a subjective issue, but when it comes to amps, if you want a 15 to 20 watt, because you're getting specific, and with a Strat, you're getting specific with me here, that helps me to help you, is a daggone Fender Blues Junior amp. Why? It has built-in reverb, it has built-in EQ, it has a pre and a post, so you can crank the pre so you can get some bite out of it. You can turn the pre all the way down, crank the post all the way, and then you use your pre as the volume, and you can get super, super nice, beautiful, clean tones that don't sound too dissimilar to this sound, by the way. This sound right here. Now, even though that's not a Blues Junior, it's emulating a Blues Junior. It's as close as you're going to get to it with these Kempers, which is spot on, by the way. But if I dig into it a little bit, right? Or I could juice it up a little bit. Right? So we can do fun stuff like that. Blues Junior all the live long day. If you want a cheaper amp, now that's a tube amp that's really going to, it can get super quiet or it can get super loud. So if you're playing with a band, I've used those in a band all day long. 12-inch speaker, powerful, beautiful, great amp, okay? We're gonna get into the advanced lesson here in just a second. No, we're not. We did that already. We're gonna continue on. I'm gonna continue answering your questions. Sorry. Yeah, Fender Blues Junior. I think I have that in my store. The link for that is down below. Now, if you want like a cheap, now that's tube. That's an 18 watt, I think 18, 15, something like that. It's loud. It's plenty loud for you. But if you talk about solid state, which is a whole different creature, they're not nearly as loud. They don't, as a whole, they don't sound as good. But if you're looking for, you know, a cheap solid state amp, then the Katana, the Boss Katana, is one that would work. Okay, but I'm saying no, don't do that. Go ahead and take the time and get the. Don't waste your. Get the Blues Junior. Okay, that's what I'm telling you. Great, beautiful. Thank you so much for that donation, CPK. That is really, really generous. Thank you. So, Greg, going back to that, don't do what I do. I mean, take it into account, right? But go with what it is that you want to do. Okay, go with it with what it is that you want. The HSS Strat's a great Strat because, unlike this guitar, so the guitar that I'm having custom made. I had one custom made, and it's basically an HSS. It's not a Strat. It's kind of Strat styled, but it's my own design. And I love that guitar. I didn't even show it to you. I showed it to a few of you, but the reason I didn't show it to you is because it's not the guitar that if you want to buy once we go into production with this thing, that's not going to be the guitar. It's another guitar that I'm having made, because even though I love this guitar, wasn't exactly what I wanted. So wait for that. But this new one's going to be an HSS style. It's going to be humbucker, single coil, and then another single coil, but that single coil is going to be a P90. So we're going to be able to get all sorts of sounds from this amazing guitar. Okay? All right, great. Sean's saying, I missed the advanced lesson. Sean, you didn't. You didn't miss it. You know, basically we were talking about muting, and we combined the two, okay? Because we were talking about fret hand muting, but I can help with any questions that you might have. But we talked about fret hand muting. We talked about with a thumb. We talked about the other fingers. We talked about for playing lead, and we also talked about chords. Okay. Should I get a keyboard with weighted keys? What do you like, Tyler? Do you like it with weighted keys or not? They're definitely heavier to move around. And if you're used to playing piano, you probably want weighted keys. But if you don't, then you probably don't. You know, if you're new to keys, you probably don't care about it. Keyboards are typically faster because you don't have to press down as hard. They're not weighted. But if you're used to playing piano, if you're a concert pianist, then you probably want to get weighted keys for sure. Douglas, thank you so much for the donation. Wow, you guys have really come through for me today. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right. Oh, both amps are on the gear page. Blues Junior all the way. Good. Daryl loves the Blues Junior. Here's the deal, man. They're just so much great amp for the money, but not overpowering. I mean, you could go buy a 100-watt Marshall. I've owned many Marshalls. I love them. I've had 500-watt amps before. I've had stereo 500-watt amps. I've had Mesa Boogie, and I've had Marshall, and I've had, you name it, I've probably had it. That being said, the Blues Junior is like everything that you need and nothing that you don't. So you could play a big gig with that Fender Blues Junior, man. They'll get loud enough to where if you're standing next to it, you're like, dear God, please turn it down. That is incredibly loud. Okay. Ask Mike, who works with me. He will tell you that I play loud. What is your opinion of hardtail Strats? I've never played one, but it's cool. If you don't use a tremolo, then yeah, definitely get a hardtail. They're great. You know, they're gonna sound like a Strat for the most part, and yeah. Eric, have you seen those T. Joe's little Hoto? No, I haven't seen those. But I bet you they're cool. Will you explain rhythm guitar and lead guitar while playing in a band? Sure, let's talk about it. So, Albert, oftentimes in bands you'll have a lead guitar player and a rhythm guitar player, and the only thing that means usually, two Blues Juniors here. Stratman has two Blues Juniors. Totally agree. They're great. They sound amazing right out of the box. Mine has like 15 mods on it, but I pulled one straight out of the box the other day, plugged it in, boom, amazing. You know what I mean? No, it's not overkill for just the house. It's not. Not at all. You can turn it down. You can turn it down to where you can barely hear it. So most amps you can do that with. People have a preconceived notion that if it's a 1,000-watt amp that you're not going to be able to play it in the house. Sure you can. Just turn it way down. I mean, it'll whisper if you want it to, you know. Okay. Yeah, so usually in a band, you know, if there's two guitar players, you have a rhythm, you have a lead player. And usually the lead is for the person who can play leads better. That's typically what you do. But when he's not playing lead, that person will be playing rhythm. But if there's a riff or a little something or another that's a little bit more complicated, then usually that's going to be for the lead player, because they can handle that stuff, whereas the rhythm player may not. They're just handling the chords, right? Nothing wrong with that. We need both. So rhythm player is playing more chords, typically lower on the guitar, right? Lower on the neck. Higher on the neck for the lead guitar player, playing the riffs and stuff like that in between things, okay? Guitar giveaway? Someone's asking. Yep, I do them all the time. Where do you see the future of guitar in music? Nicholas. It's really interesting. That's a great question. It's a really interesting bit because you see, you know, there's not the guitar solos that there used to be. Even in country music, there's not the guitar solos. We were listening to like 70s country the other day, and then maybe even some 80s, 90s country, and there was tons of guitar solos in it. There's not as much these days. It's almost as if our attention span has gotten less. I know, crazy little theory there, but conspiracy theory even maybe, but I'm pretty sure that our attention span's gotten less with social media and everything else. So it's like we don't even have many guitar solos anymore. So I think it's primed. I feel like the pump is primed for some great guitar solos again. Any experience with a hybrid guitar? Fender and Taylor make them. You know, I have. Number one, a donation just came in from Sean. Thank you, buddy. Woo! Beautiful. Thank you. Feel it. Eric, really appreciate you and your team and all you do to echo and what others have said. You are a passionate and terrific teacher and have always been super responsive. Thanks, man. Thank you, Sean. That means so much to me. And the donation means so much. Helps keep feeding all of us and keeping the lights on and what have you, the studio. So thank you, thank you, thank you. I do have a hybrid guitar. I guess what might be called a hybrid guitar. It is a modeling guitar. So I'm not sure what you mean by hybrid, but mine's a modeling guitar. When do you recommend learning intervals and their names? Do you have any tips on how to practice them? Sorry for all the questions. Tyler, don't worry about that, but I have all the medicine for what ails you inside of UGS Standard. That's the course I'm giving you today for free. It's linked to. Tyler, you got to take advantage of that. I tell you exactly where to learn the intervals. In fact, it's right in the course at the right time, and I show you exactly how to learn them. And everybody who's been watching the 30-day guitar challenge, we talked about intervals. When was it? I don't know exactly. Oh, it was on the 19th. Oh, no, it was. Yeah, the 19th with the advanced part of the program. If you want to watch that, do that. But honestly, you're going to get way quicker. You're going to get the answers way quicker and way more defined inside of that free program that I'm giving you. The second link below, UGS Standard, Unstoppable Guitar System Standard. That is absolutely going to help you get there, and you're going to learn it at just the right time. And I have a method for learning it where we all did it in real time here. Everybody got 100% on their quiz because I quizzed them on every single one, and they knew every single interval in the entire chromatic spectrum like that. It's super easy. If you know, did you ever have that teacher in high school that would teach you those tricks? I did, and I love those guys and gals. It's probably why I do what I do, and that's what you need. That's going to help you remember stuff without having to do so much work. There's work involved for sure. Yeah, Blues Juniors are also easy to carry, transport, to practice, indeed. Anything comparable to Blues Junior at a cheaper price point? Nope, not for a tube amp. There's not. What about a 412 cabinet? I admire its immersiveness and fancy getting one for my stand. Alvin, if you lived in Nashville, I would sell you one at a real cheap price because I have a nice stereo Behringer 412 cabinet that I never use, and I could be using it, but there's just not a need. It's so big, you know. I do. I literally have a pile of cat fur. You can see me doing it. I'm doing this. There's a pile of cat fur down here. It's like this tall. Does High Watt still make amps? I don't know. How to participate in guitar giveaways? Well, you're not going to know about them unless you're following my social media, unless you're on the email list, that sort of thing, or unless you randomly find my videos. So that's the number one, is stay in touch with me in some way. Either follow my social media, all those links are below. Get on the email list. If you join the program, there's an opportunity for you to get on the email list there. Otherwise, yeah, do that. And then when we do have a giveaway, I give you all the information on how to enter it, and it's usually super duper easy, like here, leave a comment on this video, okay? Don't care much for modern country, not enough soul, except for maybe Chris Stapleton. Chris Stapleton, my wife used to write with Chris a lot. Yeah, he's an amazing singer. I remember one of the first nights we'd ever hung out with them, and he was sitting at the table, and he was just singing his heart out. Just had his acoustic guitar, and that's just, man, he was just just singing his heart out. Amazing singer, man. Okay, hybrid is an electric guitar that you can plug in as an acoustic guitar, not plugged in. Easy for rheumatoid arthritis hands. Is that what you're saying? Huh. Well, yeah, I've played those types of guitars before, and they're cool. I like them okay, but they're not my favorite. They're not my favorite. Is feeling like you know the scales decent, but feeling like you can't flow with it normal? Feeling my playing lacks feeling, but I can't find my feeling. Paul, it's not about finding your feeling. It's about developing your feeling, right? You remember the first time you kissed somebody? It was probably pretty sloppy, right? Or the first time you did anything like that, right? Probably pretty sloppy, probably a little bit awkward. But then you start like letting go and going with your emotions and feeling and what have you. But you can develop techniques, right? Indeed. And with guitar and soloing and everything else, it's the same thing, right? You're forced to learn to speak out of survival as a kid, so that becomes a little bit more natural. Paul, Mike put the link for it up above. Friends, if you want to solo and you're wondering why you have no feel, if you're wondering why you're just making scales sound like scales, is because you have not learned how to phrase. Bottom line, you haven't learned how to phrase, and learning how to phrase, very simply, is so easy. You trying to scale Mount Everest in an hour is really, really, really hard, possibly even impossible. I hate that word, so I don't like to say it. But it would be very, very difficult, right? And trying to play like Stevie Ray Vaughan immediately is also going to be very, very difficult. Don't do it. That's only going to set you up for a disappointment. So the way you do it is you learn how to phrase very simply, and then you get better and better. It doesn't happen for anybody. It never has in the entire world ever happened where you went from nothing, just playing scales, to all of a sudden being like, holy crap, look at me go. Doesn't happen like that. It happens with small little phrases, and then it becomes more and more. I'll show you kind of how it might sound. At first, it might sound something like this. Okay, real simple. Here we go. You notice I just stuck to one part of the neck here. I wasn't getting crazy, right? I'm just sticking to one part of the neck. And even though the phrasing sounded very conversational, that's the only thing you're going for. You don't need 10 million notes. You need like 3 notes, 4 notes. That's it. And if you follow, look, anybody who has gone through minimalistic blues, and you said, dude, boom, that was when the light came on for me. I want you to just write MB, Minimalistic Blues. Just type that in the chat and let people know that that's the real deal. And Mike, if you would, throw up the link for that again for our friend Paul here, because it's all about that. You develop this through that sort of idea, minimalistic playing. If you're thinking too big, forget it, man. You're gonna malfunction, okay? Look, MB. Folks, get this. It's just the truth. This is how I learned. I didn't realize that's how I learned, but later on I'm like, dude, that's how I learned. Why don't I teach that way? And then that's how I taught. Okay, so every time you see an MB there, Paul, that means get your A over, number one, get it into UGS standard, because you got to develop those basics first. You got to understand how to what the pentatonic scale looks like, but then you got to learn how to phrase. Okay, and that's how to do it. Okay, beautiful. Thank you so much for those that are saying that. Zach Wild has a video on soloing using one note. I love that. I could, I always say that, man, one note. Let's try this. I could do one fret, one note. Let's see. I mean, yeah, you could do that. Do 2 notes and then 2 notes. Right? Sorry, I gotta throw that note in there. So there, I was using 2 notes except for that one very last one at the end. So no joke, man, doing that. When you learn a new vocabulary word, I mean, look at how much I slaughter some of the names on here, right? It's like, but if you practice it and you practice it, you're going to get it. So start with something simple that you can digest, right? If I bring in a 5 foot long sub, oh God, I'm hungry again, by the way. Whew, for a giant sub, it just hit me after that fast. I'm ready to eat. If I put in a 5 foot sub and I set it before you and you're like, dude, I'm gonna eat that whole thing like I would want to right now, My esophagus is going to tell me to just take it one bite at a time. But when it comes to information, especially like with guitar, people just think that it's just going to come to them like that. And unfortunately, or fortunately for me, I've have a whole career because of that, because people, they try to take on too much. But literally, if you go through the first 30 lessons in UGS and you just take things slow, and you break things down and slow it down, and you just do those first 30 for free, you literally could become an insane guitar player. An insane guitar player. Never pay $1, never pay anything, and just do what I said there. And you gotta also have the mindset of, you know that you're gonna improve with practice. If you don't have that, then, you know, because I literally get that question. People say, well, will practicing really help me? Yes. I mean, what else is going to help you? Not a video. Video isn't going to help you. A video is going to tell you what to practice, but you got to practice, right? You watch someone how to swing a golf club, right? Jason's a big a golfer. He's watching videos like that all the time. So, boom, he watches the video and he's like, boom. I don't have to do anything now. I watch the video, right? No, you got to go practice that now, because now you have to take that information and you have to get it into your cells. It has to be in your hand. It has to be in your mind. It has to be all part of you, right? Yes. The answer is yes. All right? Okay. Jason's trying to make this a thing. Eric, I heard a rumor you're going to wear a Spider-Man suit on day 30. You think I'm going to wear a Spider-Man suit on day 30, is that right, Jason? Okay. Maybe I will. We'll see. We'll see. All right, let me rephrase that question. Is it okay to listen to music while you meditate? Sure. Yeah, there's so many different ways you can meditate. You can just sit in quiet, sit in nature. You can just close your eyes, don't sleep. That's not the same. You're not in the same vibrational level. You're in a deep theta state when you're sleeping, like around 1 hertz. Meditation is around 5 hertz. And your mind is literally in a different vibrational level. If you're freaking out and you're like, bills, etc., etc., if you're in that mindset, you're in high beta, and you want to be out of that, you know, as much as possible. But yes, you definitely can listen to music. I do. I listen to real spacey music. I try not to listen to, I mean, I can listen to Floyd and stuff like that sometimes, but lyrics and the more like punchy and stuff there is, to me, it can kind of make me a little less ethereal and make me think a little bit more. But it still chills me out. But I feel like the more chill the music is, the less distracting it is. I can literally lose track of time and literally be like I'm floating out in space or whatever. And that, you know, when I'm listening to music, binaural beats, I use them all the time, by the way. And if you're going to use binaural beats, which is basically 2 frequencies that are in your ear, right? But they're 2 different frequencies and they clash. But they do it at such a rate that it creates this sub-frequency, which would be like the 5.5 hertz. So like this. So if it's 2 notes in your ear, right, that are the same, it might be this. And then if they're off, they might be this. Hold on, let's it's not gonna sound like that. I promise you, the binaural beats sound much better than that. It might be that right there. And there's a warble that happens. Listen to this. Hear it slowing down? So don't worry about the actual sound. What we're looking for is that vibration. And that's what binaural beats do. And I use that. I've got programs for that. And I put on my AirPods and boom. Whoo, puts you in the zone. Big time. Any chance you could repost those Gaia links? George, they're on my YouTube. They're on my Twitter. But I'll probably do it again when I go through the whole series again, which I'm planning on doing. Is smoking and listening to Floyd considered meditation? Smoking what? Yeah, that'll get you there too. faux show. Some people call that a crutch when meditation, but there are plenty of folks that will swear by it, that it brings them to another place, that puts them in that zone. Yeah, for sure. Can you hear the wind chimes, Brent? Jeez, Brent's ear is like super good. I can't hear the wind chimes. Oh, I can hear him. Yeah, wow. Good ear. Dear Lord. I hear a great deal about the Fender Champ. Thoughts versus Blues Junior. I've had a Fender Champ before. The one that I had a volume knob on it. That's it. Volume knob. Boom. So the Blues Junior is much more versatile, but yeah, I mean, Eric Clapton cut a lot of records with just a Fender Champ. Now they have some that's more than just a volume, right? But yeah, they're great little amps. They sound good, man. Meditate to the Metal album. I'll need to listen to that one. I haven't gotten into that one so much, but I need to. When I meditate, I eat nachos. Hey, your Beat It solo tutorial is awesome. Yay, thank you, GSAD. I'm stuck at the part where you say, this is the part where most folks bail out. Any tips? Love from India. GSAD, I wish I had that solo underneath my fingers right now. I learned so many songs that I just don't remember them anymore, you know? So, yeah, my tip is for you, get the tab, or follow what I'm doing and just go really, really slow. But I think it was the whole, like, man, I don't even remember. Something like that. Something like that. I forgot what it was, but, sorry. I don't remember them all, right? Yep, Shane. Yup. Okay, good stuff. All right, let's keep going. Who motivated you to pick up the guitar? If you don't mind me asking, I'd love for you to ask, Mario. Thank you for asking. So for me, I played this the other day. In fact, I did a whole thing on this. Was the very first lick that made me play guitar was this lick. Okay, ready? That's this. Isn't that beautiful? That's called "Foolin'" by Def Leppard, and that's the intro. And when I heard that, I was like, oh. I mean, I was just floored. And I grew up, someone saying The Ventures. I loved The Ventures. I loved Ennio Morricone, you know, The Good, Bad, and the Ugly. I loved the James Bond theme. Right? Anyhow, I forget it. I have a video for it, and I forget that one too. I got a lot of songs in my head, or not in my head. So that Def Leppard song, but there's so many tunes before that. I was always just like, what is that, man? What is that? God, that guitar. And then, oh, that's a guitar. And then Peter Gunn theme. I love that one. Comfortably Numb. Def Leppard, Pink Floyd, Aerosmith, Van Halen, Ozzy Osbourne. There were so many amazing, and from the 50s, from the 60s, from the 70s, Zeppelin, Beatles, so many amazing guitar players and songs that I just absolutely loved. Walk, Don't Run, yes, yeah. So many great bits. Yeah, Hysteria was a great album, man. Did I miss the fret hand muting? Thomas, we talked about it, yeah. We kind of put the two together because we're talking about fret hand muting, we're talking about the thumb muting, and then we kind of threw everything in there. So in the beginning of the program, that's where I just put everything. I said I'm going to put these both together because I'm going to get more to your questions today. But I put it all in one because realistically, it's kind of in between beginner and intermediate. So I just kind of did them all at once there, okay? Otherwise, it would have been broken up kind of weird. That's why I did that. Are power chords always bar chords? If not, can you explain for me the difference? Dan, yeah, great question. So a bar chord is when we take our finger and it lays across two or more strings. So if it's this, right, I'm using this with one finger, just like that, okay? I'm barring. Could use the side of the finger, could use the pad, doesn't matter. A bar chord looks like this: 1, 3, and 4. Okay, and that's not a bar chord because we're not barring anything, right? See my finger's up, so I'm just like 1, 3, 4. That's all I'm doing. But I could create a bar chord out of that by taking my finger and doing this, right? Now I have a minor chord. I have a video on power chords for you. Search YourGuitarSage power chords, and I have videos for you on bar chords. Search YourGuitarSage bar chords. Cool? All right. Good. Someone asked what my favorite solo was. Stairway to Heaven, Comfortably Numb, and Freebird. Yes. Indeed, those are all amazing. This sounds like the theme music for 30 Days of Guitar by Eric Quarantino. and I love Quentin Tarantino. I mean, his stuff is dark, but I kind of like dark music and stuff too. These days, I don't tend to. I feel like because of so much meditation that I've been doing and what have you, it's like it's weird. I don't gravitate to that stuff as often. But sure, definitely used to. I do too. I would watch Kill Bill right now, sure. But I find that I really like a lot of light stuff too. So how about that? Ha, interesting. It's really interesting. Oh, I was listening to some old REO Speedwagon the other day. REO Speedwagon. That was the first 45 that I ever had, ever. Peter, thanks so much for the donation, my friend. Super, super kind. Thank you. Beautiful. Adrian, here's some dark money. Thank you, bud. Yeah, I mean, you know, it's all about taste. It's like sometimes you want something hot, sometimes you want something sweet. It's more like the diversity now is what I like. But if the only thing you do is listen to The Cure and dark stuff, then you don't have the diversity. You need something to compare it to, you know? Oh, he disrespects Bruce Lee in his last film. What are you talking about? Huh? I don't, you know, Quentin Tarantino politically and all this other stuff, whatever. Like, the guy's a massive hypocrite. Talking about, you know, he's all like no guns and everything else, and he's like shooting everybody in all of his movies. So it's kind of dumb. You know, put your money where your mouth is and stop shooting people in your movies. If you have a problem with guns, that's all I'm saying. I'm just saying, practice what you preach, or don't preach. That's all I'm saying. but I don't know anything about that, and I don't, you know, I'm saying the movies. I don't know anything about the dude. He doesn't seem like a guy I'd be hanging out with, but his music's pretty cool. I mean, his movies are amazing, and his song choices are even better. Love it. Okay, JJ Cales. Yeah, JJ Cales is amazing. I know, right? M. Burner. So M. Burner's lit, man. He's meditating all that stuff all the time too. And yeah, it's like you just stop watching. Like I have a real hard time watching like drama stuff. Like my wife, I watch very little TV. Come on up here, babe. You gotta watch it. I watch very, very little TV, but the TV that I watch is usually just complete filth, like the Housewives of Beverly Hills, which I don't watch that. But we do watch Vanderpump Rules, which is completely goofy. It's like these college-age kids. Now they're in their 30s or whatever, but there's lots of drama and all the rest. But like I watch it because it's fun and they get in little fights and stuff and it's kind of entertaining and what have you, whatever. But like recently here, they've been really getting mad at each other. And I told my wife, I said, I can't watch this anymore. I'm watching friendships, lifelong friendships fall apart. This is not fun. Like I'm not watching this anymore. And it's really true. It's sad. Like, you know, it's one thing to have a little drama. It's a whole nother thing to be just like serious. Like, come on, man. That's me. All right, getting off subject here. Rick. Okay. All right, other questions here, friends. I'm here for you. I want to answer questions for you. Anything about anything, but you know, specifically theory, you know, techniques. If I can point you in the right direction. Again, friends, if you have not got into the Unstoppable Guitar System Standard, I know I say it a lot. I'm sorry, but it's true. And there's constantly people coming in and out of these, so they have to know about this. If you want a really solid foundation, that everything else after that's gravy. Okay. But you have to have that solid foundation first. If you don't have that, you can't build anything on it, man. You're building a house on sand. You can't do that. That's why so many people have problems and they're like, why do I have problems? Well, because you didn't learn it in school where they teach you things step by step, like arithmetic, right? Addition, subtraction, multiplication, division. Then you go into algebra. Then you go into calculus. But there's a definitive step-by-step process in this stuff. They know how it works. But guitar, people just like, I can play guitar. You're just moving your fingers around, doing this, you know? And then they're wondering why it is that they're not sounding well, good, you know? Rich is saying, what cabinet are you using with your Kemper? Rich, thanks for asking. I just got the brand new Kemper Cone, which is amazing. It's a 112 cabinet, super light. It's not powered. I have a powered Kemper. I plug it in, bingo bango. It sounds bonkers. I love it. Dominant 7th or major 7th in blues? Paul, dominant 7th, almost always. Because you're going to get this sound, right? Watch. You're going to get this. You know, those are dominant 7th chords. If it was major, it would be. Thanks. I'll be here all week. Thanks for the tip. Good night. You know, it's kind of jazzy. That's major 7th. So you went dominant 7th, okay? I'm having a hard time with perfect 5th and all of that. Question mark. Sun Coaster, you're going to have to get a little bit more specific than that. Wouldn't even know how to answer that, but I want to help you. Get more specific. Can you go over the notes to resolve on as the chords progress in a minor pentatonic scale? Can you go over it? It depends on what the chord progression is. Totally, okay? Depends on what the chord progression is. There's not an answer for that. It depends on the chord progression. Mark is saying, get shirts that say practice, practice, practice. Actually, Mark, we have a shirt that says that. Mike, if you would, Mike's been designing some amazing shirts for YGS, for you guys, for us, for me. We ordered a bunch. I need to get some for my little guy, but amazing. Mike is great at everything that he does, but with his design work especially, he's bonkers. You got to check that stuff out. And Mike, if you would, post that link for this so if folks want to get in there and get a t-shirt or a mug or something like that, they can do it. How does the caged work with lead playing solos? 10 is saying, 10 points. That is a very long answer. That's about a 2-hour answer, so I can't answer that today. But that being said, basically in the same way the cage system works with the chords, you have the pentatonic shapes that match up with those. I have an entire course on this inside of UGS. So UGS Pro folks know that when somebody asks a question like that, I probably have a course for it because I've been asked those questions enough that I make a course for it, right? So you guys can know this stuff. So I have a whole course on this, but basically, in essence, like if you took the G major shape, you know, this shape right here, you can find a pentatonic hidden in there. That sort of thing. But but to properly answer that, it's 2 hours. Mike, thanks so much for posting that link. Beautiful. Ernest is saying, are you putting that Evertune system on the guitar you designed? Ernest, it's called Buzz Feiten, B-U-Z-Z, Buzz Feiten, or Phaeton, F-E-I-T-E-N, I believe it is. It's a really rare system because it's not something you can retrofit on the guitar like there's one called an Nirvana, which is great, by the way. And it's a compensated nut, just like a compensated bridge like you have on your acoustic guitar, and it makes the guitar way more intonated. It's bonkers. Just the nut alone is bonkers. It makes the whole guitar more intonated. And what we mean by intonated is, if you've ever played a chord here, and then you play up here, and you're like, well, now the chord's out of tune, that means your intonation's out. There's a real specific math from here to here, okay? Real specific per string, per thickness of the string and all the rest. And if that's not right, your stuff will sound, your guitar will be out of tune. Even though it's in tune, it'll be out of tune as you go up the fretboard. Buzz Feiten and the folks at Nirvana created a nut that you can retrofit into your guitar, and it will fix that, or it will fix a lot of it. Buzz Feiten has even a more involved system, but that involves having the whole neck set up, having the frets placed in all the right places, just minute little differences that you're never going to notice, but it puts the guitar in perfect tune. It's amazing. And we are going to do that with these guitars. So this guitar that I'm having built is going to have that Buzz Feiten system in it. Ah, I love it. I'm so excited. You guys will have that if you want to purchase that guitar. It's going to be bonkers. Okay. Do you have any of the old style t-shirts left? Tony is saying, I don't know. Mike could answer that one, but I don't know. Eric, have you ever refinished a guitar yourself? Absolutely not. I have not. Any tips? Don't do it yourself, Jason, or if you're going to do it yourself, definitely know a lot about painting and sanding and all the rest. There's a lot to it. I would think there is, you know. Gerald is feeling sad because I haven't listened to Gabriel Covedo, a Swedish finger picker. Gerald, I would like to listen to her, but if you had any idea how many folks people say you gotta listen to, and then half the time I listen to them and I'm like, okay, they sound pretty good, but they don't wow me. But I'm sure she would. But no offense, it's just time, you know. And also, when I'm in the middle of a broadcast like that, I'd have to remember one of the 700 questions I got, you know. So no offense, I'm sure she's amazing, and I may get around to listening to her. But don't be sad, dear Lord. Can you show us how to work walk downs in different keys like Johnny Cash does in some of his songs? Dan, this is a completely subjective-ish subject, right? So you can walk up like from the 1 to the 2 minor, you know, but not without knowing, you know, theory on chords and stuff like that too. So it's not something that's just like, oh, now I got it. It's a much broader subject than that. I wish I could just show you that and it would just be that simple, but it's not like a thing. I mean, you know, I'd show it to you if it was just like a thing, like, oh, okay, now I can do that. It's not like that. It's more complicated than that. Al, will the guitar be affordable, less than $1,000? Nope, absolutely not. Look for maybe 3 times that cost, seriously. Al, if you want affordable guitars, they're all over the internet. But they're not going to play and sound like this guitar. This is a forever guitar. A forever guitar. You're not going to want to get rid of this guitar ever. So no, definitely not $1,000, not even close. I apologize, but I don't apologize because there's plenty of crap guitars out there that I can point you to. Not even crap guitars, just under $1,000 bucks. But there's no way you're going to get a handmade this whole thing is handmade, okay, from top to bottom, made in Nashville, okay, by folks who have done this many, many, many times before, who are pros at this. It's good. It's different than just going and buying a Strat. You know what I mean? It really, honestly is. Is your Strat completely stock? This one is. Yes, this is nothing's changed on it at all. Where am I from? I was born in Titusville, Florida, which is where they launched the missiles from, and Space Shuttle and all that stuff, and now SpaceX and all that. I grew up. That's why Titusville. Yeah, that's where I grew up, and then that's where I was born, and I grew up in Merritt Island, Florida, and Cocoa Beach area. What style guitar will it be? Strat, semi-hollow? It will be kind of a retro type Strat-ish, but more of a, yeah, I'm a Florida boy, but it's going to be a little bit different. So I had a Strat version made, and I was like, cool, not what I wanted, not exactly what I wanted. Yeah, so. Do I miss surfing? I do miss surfing. I love surfing. Seeing a night launch at Titusville, amazing. It is. That's a life changer, isn't it? Saw many launches. In fact, I saw the Challenger when that blew up. Maybe '86. I forget the year, but I remember. I could run out my backyard and look up in the air and see the space shuttles, and you would feel the entire house shake. So if you were like if you forgot about a launch, you wouldn't forget very long, because like especially the space shuttle missiles, you might miss those. But they would shake the house too. But a space shuttle, I mean, the whole house would shake. Was insane. '86, thank you. Yeah, and I saw that and was like, I'd seen so many launches before. My dad worked for McDonnell Douglas, which he worked on all the stuff that's in the space shuttles and all that stuff and all the and all of that, and I knew something was wrong then for sure, man. That was oof. What should I learn to become a professional guitarist from an intermediate player? Jonathan, I have the entire path for you in UGS Pro. I wish I could just say, oh, you need to learn bar chords and scales and you're going to be good. There's a million things to learn. But just like a million steps up the top of Everest, you don't go, oh God, that's so hard, I'm not going to do it. You just take the next step and the next step. You know this from becoming an intermediate to an advanced player. So what you can do, and anybody can do this here today, if you've already gone through all the 30 lessons in UGS standard, right, and now you want to go further, you can try out the Unstoppable Guitar System Pro for $1. You can try it out for 30 days. And friend, if you want to get in there and that's all you pay and you get out before the 30 days, I am totally fine with that. You're not going to hurt my feelings at all. Get in there, enjoy it, use me up. I don't care. And you'll see the path that I have for you in there, and you can be like, okay, he says to learn this, learn this, learn this. Cool, there's my buck, I'm out of here. You can do that. You're not going to hurt my feelings, okay? Frank, his dad worked for McDonnell Douglas in Long Beach. Nice. I used to work for McDonnell Douglas. Cool. Nice. My dad was an aeronautical engineer, or aeronautical? Aeronautical? Yeah, aeronautical. I've learned the minor pentatonic. How do I backtrack to learn the major? Okay, Johnny, let's talk about it. If you know the minor, you know the major. Here is A minor pentatonic. Okay, I'm just gonna go. So here's minor. Right? We just have this. I was using form 1, and form 2. Here's what form 1 looks like. Okay? 1. So this is the 5th fret, right? We got 1, 4, 1. Yeah, sorry. 5th fret. 1, 4, 1, 3, 1, 3, 1, 3, 1, 4, 1, 4. Okay? Now, if we wanted to, every minor has a related major, every major has a related minor. I'll explain this to you real quick. Most of you guys know this, but it's okay because others don't. What that means is this. The same sets of notes, the same sets of chords. It's like two people talking about the same thing, but they're from two different views, like maybe two political views or whatever. They just are opposing views, but they're talking about the same exact things. They're using the same exact words, the same exact phrases, but how they're saying it determines whether they're minor or major or whatever, okay? Now, we're going to take the same scale. If you want to find what the related major is, because you know the minors already, you go up 3 half steps. That's your tonal center for the major. But you use the same scale, but the tonal center changes. So the notes that you rest on are that new note. Okay? So for instance, if I'm playing A, oh, boo. Hold on here. Let's try this again. Different chord progression. So watch, so this is A, right? So I'm resting a lot on A. Here's an A. Here's an A. Here's an A. Here's an A. So if I rest on these notes, it sounds real nice. That's an A. 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 Here's an A. A. Okay, so that's A, right? And we're resting on A's. We're in A minor. But now, if we were to go to the related major, which is, if you're in the minor key, this is an A, you're going to go up 3 half steps. 1, 2, 3, that's major, okay? If you're in a major key and you want to find the minor, the related minor, you go down 3. 1, 2, 3. It's that easy. Don't complicate it. It's that easy. Three half steps. Boom. Now, if I wanted to do something, a different chord progression here, maybe in the key of C. This is the key of C. Track sucks, sorry. But here, the same scale form. But my tonal center is now the pinky. Okay, so same scale form. So I'm going to rest a lot on the C. Here's a C, here's a C, here's a C, here's a C. So there's a C, there's a C, there's a C. Now, the background, the chords in the background dictated what tonal center it should be, A minor or C. Which one is it? So for the A minor chords, right, boom, A minor. The tonal center is A minor. If it's a C, boom, the tonal center is a C. So it depends on what's happening in the background, but that's literally that easy. And you can do this for any key. Does that make sense? Hopefully I answered that right. I mean, I answered it right, but hopefully that got you the answer that you're looking for. If it did, give me a thumbs up. And if that was, oh yeah, Eureka, thank you, Johnny. Okay, was Johnny the one who asked that question? I don't know. Nonetheless, Johnny answered that. Good, yeah, Eureka, he got it. Yeah, I love it. Okay, where's a good website to get tabs for songs? Ultimate-guitar.com is a great place. The cat is licking its bits right now. Hard to concentrate. Well, yeah, it's licking his leg, but yeah, they kind of go for the gusto there sometimes. All the way. Good, yay. Frank gets it, Dwight gets it, yay. How many years have I been playing the guitar? I've been playing the guitar for maybe 35 years or so, but don't worry about how long I've been playing, because you could play as well or as bad as whatever your version of it is, the way that I play. You could play as good or as bad as me in a couple years, 3 years. I mean, really, there's no telling how long it would take you. It doesn't have to take you a long time. If you really focus your energy and you do a lot of practice, you can do it very quickly, you know. Indeed. Do you solo in the scale of the key, or does the scale move with the changes? Rich, usually you're just playing in one key, 99% of the time. It's not to say you couldn't, but then you're going to start sounding a little jazzier. Also, the chords would have to be outside of the normal scheme, the diatonic scheme of major, minor, minor, major, major, minor, diminished. I teach you that in these foundational bits, right? If it falls outside of that, then it's going to call for a few other melody notes that are going to match that chord, if that makes sense. Ernest Brown, thank you for your honesty, bud, and that helps other people. I'm a pro member and often refer back to the first 30. Yay, the answer is usually there. I'm guilty of skipping around. And as long as you get those first 30, I'm fine with you skipping around, Ernest. The problem comes sometimes is if you go to the advanced section of theory and you skip some stuff in intermediate and you're like, well, that doesn't make any sense. Well, calculus isn't going to make sense if you don't take algebra, and algebra isn't going to make sense. It's not going to make sense at all to me, because 5 times in college. But I did pass it, though, finally, with a D something. Maybe a C, I don't remember, but whatever. Learning basic arithmetic before you go to take algebra. Does that make sense? Okay. Oh, thank you, MSG. Thanks, Choopy. You earned me a thumbs up. Speaking of thumbs up, if you haven't already, friends, hit that thumbs up. Please hit that thumbs up. Share this with a friend. Oh, thanks, Frank. I'd like to watch you solo over chords for a full 8 hours. I've thought about actually just turning on live one day and just going, just improvising, and then just seeing, just doing it. Just showing you the mistakes, showing you how I'm maybe struggling with a new thing or whatever, and just, I've thought about doing that sometime. If that sounds like something that you guys would want to see, I don't know if that's even something somebody would want to see. I don't want to be, sounds egoic. You just want to watch me just sit there and improvise, but you may like that. I don't know, maybe. Which song should I learn? What blues song should I learn first? Staples. They're all pretty much the same. Learn the 12-bar blues. On YouTube, search YourGuitarSage 12-bar blues, and I'll show you exactly 99% of all the blues songs that you're ever going to hear. I'll show you the construction of it, and then you can do that in any key. Super easy to do, okay? Is there a subject topic list for 365 program? Joe, let me tell you what 365 is real quick. 7 days of the week, 7 different focuses. So maybe one would be hammer-ons and pull-offs, another day would be alternate picking, another day would be finger picking, another day would be economy or arpeggios, that sort of thing. So 7 different days. I start you off with easier exercises at first. You can play them for 5 minutes, you could play them for 5 hours. It depends on how much time you got. That's what it's for, okay? I start you off really easy week 1. Week 2 gets teeny tiny bit harder. Week 3, teeny tiny bit harder, and we do that 52 times. 52 weeks. By the end of it, you are a friggin' ninja. If you stuck with it, okay? If you stuck with it, you will be a ninja, okay? Will my fingers eventually move faster when soloing by practicing the scale or learning a bunch of licks? Both. Here's the deal. You're getting used to the neck and the feel and everything else, and you're getting more sure. So scales or licks. But here's the deal. Let's say I wanted to learn the Beat It solo, okay? Me practicing scales all day long, 20 hours a day, I'm practicing my scales, and then I go to play that solo, it's not going to come out. Why? Because I haven't memorized it, right? I could be able to blaze through the alphabet, but it's not going to mean that I'm going to be able to memorize or be able to just recite the Gettysburg Address. Why not? He didn't use any other letters other than the 26 letters that are in there, right? 26 letters? I think so, yeah. Why not? I learned them by heart. I learned them backwards, everything else. Well, because they're in a certain order, right? And so when you're learning a solo, those notes from the scales are in a certain order, and if you don't learn them in that order, you're not going to be able to recall them. So if you want to get good at a specific solo, practice that solo. You practice your scales so that you know them, so they're available for you when you go to improvise, that sort of thing. But if you want to get good at a particular solo, Sultans of Swing, Stairway to Heaven, Comfortably Numb, Freebird, whatever, practice those licks in that solo. Here's the other thing is, they will also help you with all the other solos and things that you're doing. Does that make sense? All right, my friends, if you have not already liked this video, thumb up. If you have already done that, then please share this video out to the interwebs. I would so appreciate that. And also subscribe and like. You'll see the subscribe button there. It's red. It's underneath the video. You hit that, and then it'll give you an opportunity to hit the notification bell. Okay, so do that. And friends, my goodness, you've sat with me this long, right? I do need lunch, Larry. You've sat with me this long. If you are not in UGS standard, you are selling yourself short. If those UGS standard helped you massively, made you much of the player that you are today, don't lie. If it really did that for you, just put number 30 in the chat to let other folks know as an encouragement that this is not, we're not playing around here. It's going to absolutely help you. Just type in 30, boom, let it go out into space there. That will help those who are on the fence, like, really? Are you serious? Is it really going to help? Is it really free? Then that would help them so much. Thank you so much for that. I really appreciate that. Get in there. It's free for you. The second link below this video is that for free. The first link is going to be the PDF, okay? Now here's the deal. Thank you for all those that are saying this. Yes, beautiful. Tomorrow's date 29. Is that right? Yeah, 29. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. 29. We got 2 days left, friends. We'll see what happens after that. I'm not going to leave you. But 29 is what we're doing tomorrow. And here's what we're going to do. Learn, for the beginner lesson, we're going to learn how to learn and practice songs. So you're like, Eric, I know all these things. I know chords. I know transitions. I know all this stuff. But learning a song is really hard. I don't even know how to go about doing it. Friends, I'm going to show you how to practical applications for breaking a song down so that you can feel the progress. You're not going to be overwhelmed. We're going to take it step by step. I promise you that you will have the skills to take this to any other song, any other solo, anything that you learn on guitar. You'll be able to take it in other places in life too, but specifically learning songs and solos. I'm going to show you how to break this stuff down so that it's not so overwhelming and you're not like looking at the top of Mount Everest going, there's no way. Not going to do it. There's no way. Do one step at a time. It's the only way to do anything. But if you can't see the path before you and if you don't take it step by step, you are not going to have the wherewithal or the patience and what have you to go through it. And with this method that I'm going to show you, you're actually going to see and feel the progress, and it's going to feel amazing, which is that's why we play guitar. We have to feel amazing to do this. It's why it's called playing, right? Friends, you do not want, listen to me, you do not want to miss the second hour of this program. I'm so excited about this subject. You know me. I'm a big freak about the Nashville number system, and that's what we're going to be talking about. Number 29 there, the Nashville number system. It is, bar none, the method that helped me understand music more than anything else. And it's so dead simple that your mind will be blown. Bring a mop. It's going to get messy, okay? Bring a mop. You're going to learn the Nashville number system the way that the pros do it here in Nashville, and you're going to understand why they can go in, listen to a song one time, play it, and it goes on an album. They're that good, but they got this method for doing it. The National Number System's the way to do it. You can use this for soloing, you can use it for writing songs, for deciphering songs, all the rest. Okay, my friends, I'm gone on too far. Mike, if you would drop that link one more time to the store, if folks want to go to the store for all your gear questions, the link for that's below. Don't forget to get into UGS Standard. For those that donated today, thank you so much. Friends, it's because of you we're able to keep the lights on. Thank you so much. I'm still able to pay the crew. We didn't have to let anybody loose, and thank goodness, because I love those kids so much. Mike, thank you so much. Emmy, thank you so much. Jason, you guys are my crew, and I could not do this without you, so thank you. For those that liked this and did all the rest, I appreciate it. We'll see you tomorrow. We're going to do some awesome stuff here. Still, let's keep going. All right, stay up. Bye.